Hello trucker family, this is Kevin with the trucker side. Our team is always on the trucker side. We're here to share our knowledge for you guys so you can be successful in the trucking industry. Follow our channel if you like our content and stay on top of everything we post. If you got any questions, put them down in the comment section or send them over by email and we'll do our best to help you out. This video we're going to be talking about the financial reality of becoming an owner operator, the things you need to know when you decide to be an owner operator and the steps you got to take, the amounts of money you need to pay. So make sure you follow all the way to the end so you can get a good idea on what it's going to cost you. The first and major expense that you have when you become an owner operator is the equipment purchase. We're going to start talking about the truck. We're not going to get in the trailer aspect yet. On the truck itself, you're probably going to have to put a down payment of 15 to 20%. Now, there can be a variation depending on whether you buy a used truck or a new truck. A used truck can be 40, 50,000, whereas a new truck is going to be around 200,000, give or take, depending on the brand, depending on the options you put on it, the specs, and so on and so forth. So you're going to be looking at around 10, 15,000, maybe more if the truck is newer. Then if you get a used truck, the moment you get it, you want to take it to a shop before you connect the trailer to it and take it to work. So any used truck is probably going to need anywhere between $4,000 to $7,000 in initial maintenance, just so you have it in the condition you want it to be in, so you can be confident when you go pick up your first load that you're not going to break down 10 miles down the road the moment you put some weight on those axles. I also recommend everybody to have a maintenance fund, a maintenance savings account set aside. I know it's hard in the beginning, so I'm not gonna say have $50,000 set aside, but I would recommend having some $5,000 or $10,000 sitting and waiting for the next repair, because it's just a matter of time until it happens, and you want to be ready for that. You're also gonna have a harder time when you start, just because there's extra expenses in the beginning when you start off with the company, and there's a delay in your check. You're going to be paid like a contractor, so 1 or 2 weeks in the hole, as people like to call it, is just the regular amount of time that it takes anybody to do the billing process and get paid for the loads you run, get the money in the company, and from the company get the money to you. So in the beginning you're not going to jump right into the money, so having a little maintenance fund set aside can be very, very helpful for you. If you consider purchasing a trailer as well, same thing, you're going to need some 15-20% down depending on the type of trailer you use. Again, there's a big difference in cost. A flatbed or a refurb trailer costs more than a dry van, so this is something you need to decide on your own. I do recommend a lot of people to just start off with a rental until they get a good feel of the business, the numbers and everything. It's not wrong to run with a rental for longer term. It's definitely not a mistake. It keeps you flexible. It keeps you open to running other types of equipment if you want to do that seasonally or as a project, or if you just haven't found your spot yet and you don't know exactly what you want to do on long term. A trailer is going to cost again another $1,000 between the down payment, some initial maintenance, and you can use the same maintenance fund that you have for the truck for the trailer as well, so you don't really need an additional fund. You're good if you have the one for the truck, and you can get things going from there. Now that we've covered the cost of purchasing the equipment, you're going to have to worry about the registration cost. There's going to be a title fee, there's going to be a registration fee, whether you decide to get your own plates or get them through a company. You're going to have to get a 2290, which is the annual highway US tax, and you're going to have to pay for the registration itself. If you get it on your own, you probably have to pay everything down. If you get it through a company, they might work an arrangement with you where you make payments in the beginning, so it doesn't really hurt your settlement that bad right on day one. The realistic cost of all these expenses between truck, trailer, or even if you're renting a trailer and not buying it right away, is anywhere between 15 to 25,000. The higher this number is available to you, the easier it's going to be. You're going to have more freedom in purchasing the truck that you want and you need, and you're going to have a bigger maintenance fund, so you're going to be covered for potential problems that are going to happen. That is not an if, that is a matter of when. So make sure you're ready for that. Now that we're past the initial cost of becoming an owner-operator, a lease-on owner-operator, we're going to talk a little bit about the monthly cost that you have once you have the truck going and running. So you're going to have your truck payment, which depending on the truck you buy, it's going to be anywhere between $1,500 to $3,500 if the truck is newer or brand new, so it is not a light amount for sure. Your trailer cost, whether you buy it or you rent it, is going to be anywhere between $700 to $1,500 a month. And then you're going to have insurance to pay for monthly, whether you're working or not, between all the policies that you're required to carry while you're on the road, between liability, cargo, physical damage, non-trucking liability, occupational accidental insurance, and so on and so forth. You're going to be looking at anywhere between $2,000 and $2,500 per month. So when you add all this up, you're going to be looking at a good, there's a variation obviously depending on the type of equipment you have, but you're looking anywhere between $3,000 to $6,000 every single month. Then you have the variable costs that you need to worry about. First of all, the biggest cost in trucking, fuel. Fuel is going to cost you anywhere between 50 to 70 cents a mile. It comes with a big variation, obviously, depending on whether or not you have an APU or a bunk heater or anything to keep you warm or cold during the summer, so you don't idle your truck. This is going to amount, we're going to reference 10,000 miles here, which is a decent average to run every month. That's going to put you between $5,000 to $7,000 every single month, granted that you run those 10,000 miles, of course. Then you have maintenance to worry about on a regular. Even if your truck doesn't break down 1 month, it's going to catch up from behind, and it's going to average out probably to somewhere between 20 to 25 cents a mile. I would deem that safe to assume. That'll put you again, for the 10,000 mile reference, anywhere between $2,000 and $2,500 a month. And rest assured, when you draw the line at the end of the year, you're going to be looking anywhere between $20,000 to $30,000. However you try to mingle with it, that is going to come from behind, and you are going to have to pay that if you want your truck to keep running. Then you have smaller expenses like scales, parkings, toll roads, truck washes and stuff of that nature. Those will generally amount to $1,000 to $1,500 a month, so make sure you're ready for those on a daily basis. Make sure you have the means to pay them so you can run your truck and your business properly. Now that we've covered mainly the expenses that you have, the initial cost of getting on the road and the monthly expenses, let's talk a little bit about some realistic income expectations. So if we go based on the 10,000 miles we were referencing earlier, you're going to be making anywhere between $23,000, $25,000, $27,000 a month. We are talking about these times in trucking. We are talking about the correct and fair rates in trucking today. So if you're watching this video later on, make sure you look at the date it was posted, because the trucking industry does change. It goes up and down. So if you want to reference this correctly, watch our weekly videos so you can see the actual averages on the week that we are posting in. So based off the gross amount that you'll be making, like I said, anywhere between 23, 25, 27,000 a month. Once you take out the expenses we spoke about earlier, that are going to amount to, depends on the truck, depends on the trailer, like I said, they are going to be somewhere around $10,000, $12,000 a month. And you take out the fuel cost, the maintenance, and the other expenses that you have, you're realistically looking at anywhere between $5,000 and $6,000, $7,000, $9,000, $10,000 depending on the month. Only thing that's going to make a difference between all of this is going to be your knowledge that you can always work on, your discipline that you can always work on, your hard work that you put in, and the smart decisions that you make. So in order to make sure you keep all of those in line, follow our channel. We're here to help you through your journey. We've been doing this many years, and the point of us being in this community here is to share our knowledge with people so they can be successful in their businesses. If you like the video, please follow the channel. Thank you for watching it. We're always on the trucker side. We're always on your side. Have a great day.